Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your host, MB and K. Lou. What's going
Hey,
on, y'all?
Lou.
What's up, man? Listen, it's been such an exciting week. Of course, we got a lot of basketball in the news. Obviously, the
We're
Sweet
talking
16.
basketball. We're talking basketball.
So we got Sweet 16 coming up, of course. But yesterday, MB free agency was going around. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and talk about what we thought as far as free agency, things that you liked. Maybe it's just things, just moves in general, MB, that you even saw or was able to check out. I think it was a bit underwhelming. I'll say that. It definitely
free agency.
Trade.
Oh, okay, got
it. Yeah, my bad. I'm glad you caught that. You see, I'm always in football, man. Hey, football and college free agency. You know how that go. You know I call that Florida free agency, baby. That ain't
no doubt. That's what it is. A transfer portal, man.
So actually, I was
talking. You won't win that transfer portal again this year, baby.
You know, it's interesting. I was talking to a high school basketball coach who talked about how the transfer portal, along with COVID, is affecting tons and tons of seniors right now because guys don't have to leave, MB. They got that extra year.
Right.
So he was talking about how it's affecting them. And he says he thinks there's going to be an influx of kids jumping into not the transfer portal from high school, of course, but into the postgraduate year, that prep school. He thinks prep schools are going to be bursting out of the seams these next couple of years. That was just his assessment. And it wasn't even a question I was asking him. He just went on to talk about that.
Oh, why? Because he said there's no room for him? Exactly. So they got to go. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because he pointed at a particular kid that had 3 or 4 Division I offers, MB, 3 or 4, and now those schools are not even returning his phone calls. So,
but I wonder though. So I wonder from a football standpoint. I wonder if the NC2A has kept the 85 scholarship limit, or if because they allowed the seniors to come back, are they going to make an exception? I wonder how that works.
Absolutely. I don't remember anything coming out. Emory, you know, he lay low, especially right now. He done blow that TV deal. It came out how much money the NCAA gonna be missing out with that TV deal that he made. I think it's 2032. It's over, and they getting it at a steal. However, I don't remember him talking about extending the player limit, although it seems like that should be automatic.
Especially.
We think it should be automatic, but you know how things work like that. It'll be when it seems like it should just be, then it's like, no, y'all got 90. We give you 5.
It should be that. Like if you're a senior, right, then you definitely that should be an exemption, man. That should allow. You know, it's like the cap. It should be a soft cap if you're a senior and you decide to come back. It shouldn't count in the 85. So I wonder. That's something to research, man.
Well, one of the things that I think can be a telltale sign is the fact that didn't come up during signing day. You see what I'm saying? Like that I'm thinking that should have been a huge issue with signing day. That they concern themselves with, hey, we can only sign 10 because, type of thing. So I'm just going to imagine until we figure out more information, like you just said.
No doubt.
I think Rick done jumped in and said with a limited number of scholarships available, that will be muddy the water for those who decides to play another year. Listen, especially in basketball, like he took me to, I don't even know, like here's the crazy part. He's a high school basketball coach that also coaches tennis. So that's how I ended up talking to him, of course, and be out there with Callie. He brought that up. And I can see how basketball is going to be affected way more because I don't know, like, you know how it is with having senior-led basketball teams in this environment with the one and dones. They are now, as we're seeing in the tournament, they had an advantage. So to have it again next year, I'm going with that. If I'm the coach, hey man, y'all need to stay here. Y'all ain't, hey, y'all ain't half y'all ain't gonna be able to do nothing but go overseas anyway. Just hang out with me one more time.
Yeah, that's you're right. But then the bittersweet of that, then now if they don't increase the scholarship limit, then that means that, like right now, it's like being without a draft pick, because
Right.
say if the numbers are tight, then and you're loading up on basically free agency because you get an extra year, 1-year deals, then now you're missing out on the incoming guys. You're not gonna have, so you got to start over. You're missing out on guys. So I hope, that's a good point.
Right.
I don't know. That's like not having a draft pick because you're already full. You have no room.
Right.
You have no room to sign a free agent because your cap is tight. So that's the negative side or the other side of the coin to that. What you just talked about.
Absolutely. But right off the
I gotta research that. I gotta see.
Fresh off the press, LB, Carlos Dunlap was let go earlier by the Seattle Seahawks, and then they decided to bring him back, of course, for a lower number. He was killing that cap before. Now he's more comfortable, fits into their cap space and what they really want to do. But the reason why I pointed that out, not that he back, LB, but because the first person to give a shout out is your boy Russell. So Russell Wilson shouted out, "Let's go." So I'm like, MB, I'm confused by Russell Wilson, man. Is he in? Is he out? I'm thinking about me and Ash around here doing the hokey pokey, man. It's like Russell sticking his left foot in, he taking his left foot out, he putting his right foot in, and he shaking all about. He doing the hokey pokey and turning himself around. Seattle Seahawks, that's what Russell Wilson all about, baby. I just don't understand him. MB is like he with us, but he's sending his agent to say, "Hey man, we like Chicago." Like, I don't know, man.
So you think he been double minded? He playing around, K-Lou?
Oh, you done hit it with a scripture. There you go.
I'm just trying to understand. That was the one question I had when I saw it. Okay, I got you now. So
I'm just trying to figure out, is he with us or is he not? And obviously I'm not saying I'm in the Seattle locker room or I'm even a fan. I'm just saying that's how I'm feeling if I'm in that locker room. Is you is or is you ain't? Let me know. If it is, if it ain't. And we grew up saying in the hood, it'll be if it is, if it ain't. That was my hood. Special little shout out to us. So that was my confusion. As confused as you were about this little short topic, I was too by the shout out.
Oh yeah. I ain't know when I saw it. I ain't know what you was making. I ain't know if you was talking about his handler name. So now I got you. So you're saying you confused about the fact that, okay, man, 1 minute you allegedly got your agent saying these are the possible destinations, and now you back on it, So yeah,
right.
yeah, I can understand. That makes that makes sense. I can see the confusion. But I guess, because you talked about, I know Chicago, because the rumor came out before they signed Fitzpatrick, right? No, it wasn't Fitzpatrick. Who was the guy they just signed? Dalton.
Okay,
that they inquired about. They had serious talk with Seattle, trying to make a play at Russell, and they got down. So maybe now that the smoke is clear, or the pitch is painted that he's not gonna get traded, that Seattle is committed with him. So it's like they all in again. So maybe that's where it come from. I don't know. I'm just trying. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to figure out the why behind it. So maybe that's the why.
Absolutely, but I don't know. I think he's gonna struggle, and to me, he's always been exemplary in this area. And that area I'm talking about is leadership. I don't know how he can walk that locker room and lead that team. I'm struggling with that. If I'm a vet there and I've been there for a little bit of time, I'm looking at him with a side eye. I'm gonna put a side eye emoji over my face every time he stand up in front of the team. I'm gonna just put it up there. You know what I mean? Because you know how it is. MB is like, we respect you when you are who you are. So say, hey man, I don't want to be here, or I want more money, whatever the case may be. And I'm not specifically talking to him because he just broke the bank, but I'm just saying in general, we just want your truth so that we can know where we stand. Which you know how it is. We putting our bodies and on the line with you out there, and we want to know if you with us or against us. And I think that there's question marks there when you talk about him. And I don't know how he can stand up in front of the team and be that same spokesman that he has been over the years and get support from his teammates in the process. I just think that's going to be a difficult situation, because it's not a situation with money, how we generally rally around a guy. Darn right, pay him. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not a situation where it's like, we're not trying. They ain't trying to win here because obviously they're active. They've been trying to make moves. They continue to try to make moves. So it's like, man, we trying to win here, but you still want to leave. So what is it? So that's my issue, and the reason why I said, who are you, Russell? Who are you?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely some confusion because when you talk about he wants to leave, I know it's kind of mixed signals, because in one breath, right, we talked about or commended him on he wanted to be more involved in decision making, right? And which he was to some degree, as far as like he definitely was hands on where they hired the offensive coordinator. Russell had a chance to talk to him and whatnot, so he's definitely with that. And then a little bit after that, then now the agent allegedly said that if Seattle was to trade him, seemed like they played the if game, then he wants to. These are the 4 teams that he would like to go to.
Right.
So it's kind of from the beginning, it's kind of been, kind of back and forth. And then he talked about, as far as protection, offensive line, he kind of, threw them under the bus that he needs more protection, or whatnot. So I don't know. It's kind of been playing what you call it? Double Dutch, hop in, hop out the whole off season.
Hokey pokey, baby.
The hokey pokey. There you go. The hokey pokey. So
hey, I went on skrill. Everybody else go with that other stuff. I went with the hokey pokey, baby. And Double A say he out of there. He say he's a saint and wait. So Double A ain't believing the hype.
Double A ain't believing it. Don't believe the hype.
Not at all. MB. So how about this? Les Miles fallout continues, man. We watching basketball. All of a sudden, across the screen, they talking about Oregon State getting off their president. I'm like, what? These boy balling. What's the president got to do with this stuff? And then you go to your phone and you pull up. Oh no, he wasn't with that LSU stuff too. Turns out Oregon State president was also the president when the decision was made to retain Les Miles, and Oregon State MB said, we got to have you, bro. Don't give us that resignation or we gonna go on fire you, MB.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You're right. This thing runs deep. Once that report came out, and then I think initially they put him on probation, but then the outcry from the people were like, nah, they got to get rid of him. And so, I mean, he didn't fight it. He was like, okay, I'll resign. And so that was the thing. So yeah, so it's a lot, man. What happened, it's definitely a lot, and that was definitely aftermath based on that, man. Where it seemed like Judgment Day. You know, I thought Judgment Day usually come back to bite you when you're dead and you got to stand before God, but it's starting early, baby. It's starting early with career wise and whatnot. You know.
Right. And along with that, man, another leader around here, high school football coach, just got fired for anti-Semitic play call language. Man, he got the kids saying foolery. Like, MB, that was really different for me. Never heard of something even close to being like that before. We normally looking at colors, movies, you know what I'm saying? 2-syllable words, 1-syllable words. Like, I ain't never heard of, let's say something racist. Like, that was new to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from the officer standpoint, I mean, you know, they have some different words and trade words, but you're right. That was definitely, I don't know what he was thinking, man. You know,
that seems like that's on purpose. like how you just accidentally do that? Because high school. I don't know if you played offense, MB, but I played a lot of offense, baby. And it was even keeping simple stupid on that side of the ball too. And so we were doing colors, like I said, 1-2 syllable words, words that meant something that related to the play. That's how we came up with play calls, MB. We weren't trying to think of what is derogatory. What's the most derogatory thing we can say out there? Like, that's not what we was doing.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm trying to figure out, me, because one of the words he said was Hitler. I guess allegedly Hitler. That was one of the audibles. And then to think about it, they were saying it in practice for a while, but they would never use those particular audibles based on the article in the game. And they just started doing it now, especially now with COVID and limited fan base. The article saying that, man, you could hear their audibles, you know, and it's like, oh, what's that? So I don't know. Like, you're right with the Webster dictionary, with all the other sayings that you could come up with. I don't know. And then, you know, I don't know. That's definitely something that, you know, make you scratch your head. And then what particular play that they can run that will like be suitable for that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, usually you got a name, like people say Seattle or Omaha, you take the opposite. You know, you got Seattle. Seattle is West Coast, I mean left. Right. You know, New York, right? So I really don't understand what's the connection, man. You got so many other choices. Why even play that game? Now it did remind me of that coach. I remember as far as a particular play, like he called one of the plays noose, you know, like noose. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, why are you even playing with fire? You know? Wow. And So anyway, that's the thing. So I don't know. I don't that's a bad choice, man. But hey, he ended up getting fired for it. You know, that's another one of those things where they put him on probate, made him miss a game, and then they did the right thing, decided, hey, look, let's get him out there. So, you know, so that's crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely the right call to make. And it brought me to this, you know, thought process, MB, after seeing one day less again, next day this high school coach, or I think it might have been the same morning that I was perusing through articles and stuff like that. And it made me think, man, it's too many leaders, but not enough great ones. And so, you know, I just Googled great leaders, and and the definition came up, MB. A great leader possesses a clear vision, is courageous, I thought was important, has integrity, which I thought was completely, you know, something that's being missed. Honesty, humility, and clear focus. Man, like, again, and this is the Lou Down, MB. If you recall, a few months ago, the Lou Down came out, and I was specifically calling out who are these guys and ladies in certain instances, but especially is predominantly guys in the sporting world, that we keep putting in charge of men, women, and kids, right? And they're terrible people, let alone great leaders. You know what I'm saying? Because this comes out. But yet we're so focused on that W, man. That W is the ultimate um measuring stick of what we're looking for, that we're putting aside the most important things that I called out in being a great leader, being courageous. That's having the courage to do the right thing at the right time, because history will judge us all. So it takes courage to stand up during a time where everybody's against you. But we have historical figures in the past that stood up, and their parade, they got parades and days named after them because of it. Martin Luther King is one of those people that stood up. Having that integrity and honesty, man, that's just, man, like caring about who you are, doing the right things, as coaches would always tell us and be growing up, when no one is looking. Man, what happened to those speeches? The coach is doing the wrong things now when ain't nobody looking, man. And it's just it's story after story, event after event. And even when the George Floyd thing happened, when players started to stand up even before then, with Colin Kaepernick pointing to that exact thing. Remember, there were a lot of coaches that, in organizations like the Dallas Cowboys that said, we don't care, we're doing this. Now they're being, history's judging them accordingly. Same thing for those players that stood up. They're now heroic. Colin Kaepernick lost his career behind it, but he's a hero now. He's a martyr because history judged him. You know what I mean? And he ended up being on the right side of history. Roger Goodell, if you remember, MB, same situation, had to recant and come back 4 years later saying we made a mistake. History judged him accordingly. That's where I'm at with this, man. There's too many leaders, not enough great ones.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. But it's just not with sports. I mean, it's just reflection of our society in general. For me, it kind of woke my eyes up where we had a deficiency of leadership when I was looking at the presidential election where it was Trump versus Hillary Clinton, right? And everybody had dirt on each other. And I was like, man, is this the best leaders that we have? Is this all we have? Is this all we got? But that's the thing when you look at, like I told you, when, in the sports world, when they look at the draft, right? The Bible says that your gift will make room for you, and it's consistent. If a dude's got talent, then, character is a lot of times overlooked. And some teams, even with their draft board, it's a few teams out there that like remove dudes off their board because they don't want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that's not the norm. If you still could play, you still could do this, then regardless of what you've done, a lot of times you got a free pass, you get a second chance, or whatnot, or you still get away with it. But it's been like that for a long time, It's been like that, man. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. Now, like people are putting the handcuffs on it, they're pointing out certain things. But unfortunately, it's been like that, a while.
Well, I'll just piggyback off of the Trump Clinton example you gave. The reason why they made it that far is because people thought they could win, and that's what I was saying at the very beginning. Winning is everything. The other stuff didn't matter. It was
right.
Let us put people up front that can win. Period.
Right, and that's the thing, and no doubt, and that's what I was saying. That's a reflection. I was just saying it's just not with sports. It's just unfortunately that's a reflection of the times that we're in right now.
Right.
Where these sayings like you're like Tina Turner, baby, man. My name means something.
Right.
Like where your integrity, your name, your character, it used to mean something. Your handshake, man, when you look somebody in the eyes. So now, like I said, is unfortunately, that's one of the penalties or sacrifices of what's going on right now.
What you saying? That's old school now.
Nah, of course, yeah, it could be old school, but hopefully it's coming back, man. People doing the right thing, and it's all based on the interview process. What question are you asking? And right now, people definitely answering or to some degree, some people are woke, or some people are still zombie, and they're digging a little deeper, and especially in this climate. They're asking those questions where sometimes those questions, those race questions, would not even be a question in the interview. But nowadays, for most people, if you're sensitive to that, you got to ask those questions as well.
Well, watch how sad this situation is, MB. This situation is so sad that in high school, college, and the professional ranks, we're no longer looking to the coach for leadership. We're complaining that the players should lead. Think about that. Like when this George Floyd thing first happened, the first thing I remember you saying, or not necessarily the first thing, but I remember one of the things that you harped on is you were glad to see NFL players taking part.
Mm-hmm.
Never once did we talk about coaches. Never once did we talk about owners. Never once did we talk about general managers or that entire executive branch of leadership of actually being leaders. We never addressed them, never talked about their names. Yeah, we brought up Jerry Jones when he said what you better not do if you're a cowboy. But besides that, we praise Mark Cuban for speaking up. We praise Steve Kerr for speaking up. Of course, Greg Popovich. But we never said, right, LB, we never said, hey, why these NFL coaches, why Bill Belichick ain't out front with this, speaking about this? Like, we ignored that. So we don't even expect leaders to be leaders anymore, MB. That's not even an expectation for us, let alone, they can hide and skirt around that title, but yet when it comes time for them to step up and be that what their name, their rank, or their position calls for, and in my Denny Green voice, we let them off the hook. Every time, not sometimes, MB. We let them off the hooks every time. Long as you stay,
that's a good point.
As long as you stay out of the way and don't say the wrong thing, we don't even bring you into the conversation. That's not even our expectation.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good point. That's a good point. Definitely a good point.
Well, moving right along, LB, I talked about that Sweet 16 a little second ago, right? We talked about that Sweet 16. And it's time, MB. It's time for that Sweet 16. We starting
Sweet 16.
we starting on tomorrow, the 27th. And MB, the teams, they've all reseeded them. You see these new brackets, everybody done burnt theirs. You got Baylor, Nova, Arkansas, Oral Roberts, Loyola, Oregon State, Syracuse, Houston, Alabama, UCLA, Florida State, Michigan, Oregon, USC, Creighton, and Gonzaga, MB. What Hurley said, I think the players today have more of an impact on society than the coaches / leaders. And I'm not denying that, Hurley, but I'm still saying, shouldn't they be the voices that we hear? We want them to stand up for everything else. Why do they get to sit down and be quiet and be silent and walk in the back room or go in the closet when showtime really happens? When your number has been called and it's time for you to leave. We're seeing players do that, but I'm saying, like, because our leadership is shucking responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's a good point that you brought up. I wouldn't necessarily shucking responsibility. It's almost like you said, we're not demanding it. So if they want to do it, then they do it. I think about as far as on a collegiate level, right? the coaches, the ACC football coaches, I remember they came out with the ACC, info commercial with the coaches talking about social injustice, and they put a video together. But in the pro level, it's kind of more or less like, I agree what Double A was saying right here. It's all about winning. It's from a pro level. So you're right. We're not demanding they do anything. Whenever they do something, it's really on their own. If they want to say do something about it, we're looking at the players from the pro level, and demanding that they do something or use their social impact, like Hurley was talking about. But on the pro level, I agree with you. It's nothing being demanded of the coaches on that sense, because the whole premise is just win, baby. Like Al Davis, man, just win.
MB, if we got high school kids kneeling or putting together functions to bring awareness to different issues and topics, I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna need for the coach to say something. I'm gonna need for the coach to say where he stands with his team in this moment during this time. Like, I just can't sit back and allow them to get in front of me and talk about the game and their direction and where their team is going. And you have no clue of what's on their mind. It's just like Dabo Swinney. He was a Johnny come lately, and then his team had to basically walk around him and go in and do something to bring awareness to inequalities that's happened in their neighborhoods, their lives, and he jumped in. So who leading who? You know what I'm saying? Who's leading who? So I guess I'm one of them. I can't compartmentalize those issues and make him all knowing and all control and be in all control sometimes. But then in other situations and times, we say, oh yeah, that's let the players do that because they're more effective with that. No,
go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
That was it.
No, go ahead. No, I agree with you. That's why I said on the pro level is a little different because because of the nature of the game, from that standpoint, the players like Hurley talking about the social and collegiate level, then now it's more emphasis on the coaches. That's why I mentioned about the ACC thing, what they did with the coaches. But I agree with you saying. I was just trying to break it up, trying to understand it even more.
Okay, we definitely appreciate you, Hurley, chiming in. Obviously, Hurley close to that situation. Definitely been a coach for a long time, so definitely near and dear. But so he understands integrity, he understands working around, and what leadership really is. So we appreciate those comments. So MB, I done ran through those names, man, and those are a lot of unfamiliar names. You got Q's at number 11. And that Boeheim name, you just hear that. You used to hearing it during the game, MB, right? Just in general over the years. But now you hear it seem like every possession because finally, MB, a coach's son out there balling.
Yeah. Buckets Boeheim, baby. Buckets Boeheim. He getting it done, man. I think he got like at least six 3-pointers in the first 2 games, getting it done. Leading 11 seeded Syracuse, man. So, man, the Buckets Boeheim, they getting it done, man. My man getting it done. That's got to be a good feeling. You're a head coach. You do coach a lot of great players for Melo, and then you get an opportunity to coach your son. And obviously a lot of pressure on the son.
Not coach your son, but coach your son who balling. Because
exactly.
Coaching your son all the time, and that's hot garbage, trash most of the time. This right here is for real. He actually deserved the scholarship, MB. He actually deserved to be there, and he is the man. So, like I say, you hear him, Boeheim all game, and one time they talking about the dad, and the other 50 times they talking about the son. No
doubt. He's getting it done, man. He's obviously one of the main reasons why they're getting that done. Plus that zone defense they be running, they getting it done. So I guess let's look at that bracket then, the Midwest bracket.
Absolutely.
So right now, You got what? Houston, number 2. They playing Houston this week. So what you got? You got Syracuse or Houston for that?
I like Hughes, baby. Again, you named it. That zone defense, it is very difficult. Trust me. He's ran it for decades, plural. And until you face it, like a lot of the ACC teams do, twice a year, they know how to defeat it. And you may say, man, they playing that zone, that 2-3, we gonna shoot the long ball. Well, it's a matchup 2-3. MB, you ain't just getting long balls like that.
Right.
If they can't get their best player in the middle of the court and him turn around and make all the decisions for the team, it's gonna be a cakewalk, MB. Because if you notice, every team that beat them, they hope that their best player ain't the point guard. They stick that guy right in the middle of that defense at the free throw line extended. He catches, he turns, and now it's a 2-on-1, 3-on-2, however you look at it, with that guy making the decisions. If you can't do that, you in trouble, MB.
See, it broke it down, K. Lou. All right, and then the other Midwest section, I guess, is the battle of the underdogs or Cinderellas. You got Loyola Chicago 8 versus the 12th seed Oregon State, baby. Oregon State crashed the party. Man, what golly, Oregon State. This is not football, this is basketball. Oregon State, man, get it done.
Yeah,
I think
go ahead. You look at 11 and 12 moves on, like that's just crazy. Like you're not used to seeing 11 and 12. And then guess what? They playing an 8, so they ain't playing
exactly.
Right. So Loyola, man, I think right now they're riding high. They're that small school Cinderella type program, MB. But here's what, inside track, talking to big bro Chucky Atkins, man, he say they can play. He said, forget all that other stuff, they can play. So I'm gonna go with them because it's teams like this, and I know we in COVID, so the gym ain't what we're used to. But I can always remember, every time that underdog, and I know they're a higher seed in this situation, but you look at this situation, everybody know where Oregon State at. Where's Loyola? We figured out because the second name is Chicago, so that's the only reason why we know it. But we know about 2 or 3 other schools named with Loyola in them. So
Loyola, Miramont.
But you're gonna get that the 30 people that's there gonna get behind them, MB, once they start playing. And it always happens. That's why I love watching the tournament, unless of course Duke playing the underdog, because the gym, that underdog hit a couple buckets, MB, that gym flips. Everybody. You might hear that big school in the beginning because their fans travel and they got more tickets, all that stuff. All of a sudden, that thing hit a couple buckets, it flips. So I like Loyola, man. I like Loyola versus Syracuse in the Elite 8.
And then now I'm gonna twist your arm with this. Who goes to the Final Four out of the Loyola, Chicago, and Syracuse? Who you got?
Well, that's when you get involved with, I think, a guy who's used to these moments, used to knowing what to say to his players, used to knowing how to calm his team down, and he ain't got no real bona fide star, when usually we're used to that in these situations when we're talking about Jim Boeheim, man. And his son is the closest thing to being a star, which is good, and because that means there can be a star on any night. I like Syracuse moving forward to the Final Four, and it has more to do with Jim Boeheim and having all that experience and having been there.
So you got Syracuse going to Final Four out of that Midwest?
Yes.
Okay. All right, South, man, the South Division, another Cinderella. Oral Roberts versus number 3 seed Arkansas. It's a rematch, man. They played early in the year. Arkansas ended up beating them. What's your thoughts on that game?
Oh, man. Oral Roberts, man, dominated the ball game. That wasn't no
number 1 scorer in the nation, baby.
From start to finish, LB. That, you know what I'm saying? Who seeded these guys?
Number 15 seed. I think this is the second time you had I guess the 15 seed make the Sweet 16. I think Florida Gold Coast in 2015 was the other one.
Right.
So you never had one. So what's your thoughts on that? I mean, because they number one scorer in the nation, baby.
Yeah, I like Oral Roberts, and I like them like they've been winning before. Like, look, we belong here, kind of winning.
Yeah.
I know 3, 2, 1, and we run around.
Right.
Man, they look the part. They look like they belong. Some teams you just like, man, boy, who did these scenes again? Y'all should have looked at these boys at 10. You know.
The biggest thing though, Arkansas from them, they based on who Oral Roberts faced, Arkansas defense a whole lot better. You know, they're one of the top defense, so that's the only thing. But you're right. So the Cinderella dream continues, huh? All right, then. Here's a classic matchup where we used to number 1 seed Baylor versus number 5 seed Villanova. You know, that's how all the brackets should have been. You know, 1 versus 5, but obviously it hadn't been that way, man. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Well, to say that, MB, number 5 Villanova, what's crazy about that is we ain't used to them being that low at 5.
Yeah.
You know, we used to Villanova float around a 1 or 2 seeds. So the fact that they had 5 is uncharacteristic.
And to their excuse, one of the top players got hurt. So because they didn't win the Big East tournament. Obviously, Georgetown didn't win. You know,
yes,
so But go. So what? Yeah, you're right. So what's your thoughts on that?
So when I look at Villanova, man, like you just pointed out, having their key guy still down, that's gonna hurt them. Well, guess what? Baylor ain't played with nobody all year. I think MB, if I'm correct, they lost 2 games all season. I think it was. What's their record?
I know they lost. They didn't win their championship either. So I know they lost that against Oklahoma State.
Right, but I think they had 2 losses.
2 losses. Okay.
Right, that's what I'm saying. All season. So this ain't no lightweight. They for real. The Big 12. Ain't no chump conference. Big East has always been a tough, gritty conference, and I think it was even more so this year. But I like Baylor, man. They're tough. Baylor tough. They good at every position. They get up and down the floor. I hate their jerseys as usual, but Baylor.
Some people choose Baylor to be able to upset Gonzaga. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I take it. So with Baylor and Oral Roberts in the Elite 8, who you got going out of that group going to the Final 4?
Sadly, I think somebody done stole Cinderella's slippers, and she gonna get back in that ugly dress and go back home.
Past curfew, huh? She out past curfew, so it's over with, huh?
That white horse turned back into a donkey, MB.
Oh man. All right, now then on the west side, you got who you got? Gonzaga, obviously, Creighton, another Big East school, and who you got out of that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Zags, man. I ain't got a lot of love for Creighton. You know, I want that guy gone.
The butcher.
That's a coach's conflict right there. I ain't even talking about them.
Yeah, no doubt. And then surprised, I know the tournament started where we was recognizing how the Big Ten school had 2 number 1s and 2 number 2 seed. But quiet as a kept, man, the Pac-12. What the Pac-12? Is that what they call it now? Pac-12, right?
Yeah, it's the 12.
Pac-12. Man, they getting it done. They didn't get the fanfare coming into the tournament, but shoot. Into the tournament, man, they're doing great, and they only had 1 loss for as Pac-12 schools. And obviously, after this game, they're gonna have 2 losses because you got USC versus Oregon, and this another rematch that took place in the regular season. What's your prediction on that, man? Because Oregon beat the wheels off Iowa, man, and they beat them. But USC, man, we're arguably now the number 2. Some people got him, the Mobley. got him being the number 2 draft pick in this upcoming draft. You know, getting it done. What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, MB. I'm gonna say Mobley. You spoke of him earlier, man.
Yep.
A few shows back, talking about how good he was and what his expectations are moving forward. Not just with this college stuff, but you talking about him as a pro. So you've been on that. But I will say this: I'm gonna have to toot my own horn because MB. You know our show 6 to 7. We float around a little bit after 7, maybe 7:10. 15 at the latest, MB. But on that same day, like on Monday, MB, after we got off the air, Jeff Eisenberg released his article Monday, March 22nd. That sounds familiar. It's 7:28. And he said the Big Ten has flopped in the NCAA tournament. Was it overrated all along? And if I recall, somebody on our show was overrated when y'all was talking about that Big Ten, and y'all threw rocks at me. I felt a little heat when I said that because the chat was I think it was AG that said there you go with that Duke stuff. You know what I'm saying? I felt a little hate.
Okay, get it off your chest, baby.
But here go the thing, MB. You know me, I'm gonna call it how I see it, no matter what, and that's what happened. You are absolutely correct. The Big Ten was trash. The good thing about them was COVID saved their life because they played each other. MB, the conferences ended up playing internally, and so we tried to seed them based on trash. Is what happened, and you don't have that many high seeds and that many teams make it. And all y'all go down week 1 and that not be really what the deal is. I mean, you got one survivor in Michigan and you had a guy from the crib, Sean D, he from around here, MB, the crib.
Okay.
Saved y'all life even that game, MB. He don't go off for 21. This guy don't, he don't average but like 13. He don't go off for 21, MB. We're not even talking about Michigan. You notice that? Like that game was a game. I watched that game, and Sean the difference of that ball game. And again, we wouldn't be having this conversation even about the Big Ten, other than how trash they were if he didn't show up. So you talking about USC, Oregon? I like USC, MB as well. Oh, I don't know if you said you liked them, but I like USC over Oregon. And then because of star power, I think basketball a lot of times comes down to star power. Just bottom line. Like, and if you don't believe me, look at the NBA.
Yep.
You name the teams what them dudes are, and then I give you what the rankings are, the standings. You know it's very rare that those teams that just play great basketball together. It's very rare that they move up in those standings because even those great teams like you saw that you named that just played great basketball together end up having 2 Hall of Famers on it in Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Kidd. You know what I'm saying? Even those have studs, you know? And you like, well, but he ain't LeBron though. No, he ain't LeBron, but he a step and a half, 2 steps underneath. You know, like
right. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. Right,
absolutely. So I like USC, MB, and here go the upset.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm about to say because you said the Zag. This is what you're talking about.
This is where the buck stops. Mark Few has always done this over and over and over again. Okay, he's always done this. He's gonna show up and do it again. USC moves along to the Final 4.
Woo! You heard it here, baby. You heard it here from K. Luhu. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, you know, I got the Zag out of that. I think it's gonna be a great game, though. If definitely that matchup with USC with the Mobley down in the paint getting it done, man. But Zag, man, they got a little bit more star power. But that's it. I see how you feel, K-Lu. Well, then the last bracket we got, man, and I'm with Double A on this, and don't tell my UM dudes, but I think it's going to be another upset. I think Florida State is going to upset Michigan, man. I'm going with
how much of an upset that's going to be. You may call the upset because they number one, but you got to look at how they play LSU, man. LSU should have beat them boys. So Florida State, they big, they long, they're a problem.
They're well coached. My man Leonard Hamilton, that's my dude. He was at Miami with me, baby.
Yeah, so, Leonard out there in the boot doing his thing. He need that wheel thing, though, MB. He be looking like he hurt walking in that boot. He need that wheel thing so he can scoot around.
Right.
But yeah, I like Florida State too. I don't think it's an upset though. I guess we gotta call it that because it's 1-4. But that's no upset.
And in Michigan, though, rightfully so, they're another team that's missing one of their star players, and they're missing one of their better players as well. So we got to definitely throw that out there, you know.
Yeah.
But I think with Florida State, like you said, with their athleticism, their well coached, and the way they're shooting and their length and size, you know, obviously to me, this is where they not having that star players to me is going to come up and bite Michigan in the butt, you know.
And I'm out there on this, MB. Leonard Hamilton, to me, the most underrated, special, great coach in college basketball.
Bro, you're not gonna get any argument out of me with that. I love Leonard.
He's around here. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He hangs around this same situation, Sweet 16, Elite 8 every year. And somehow we forget about him every year. Why? Because he plays in the ACC with the two juggernauts of college basketball, UNC, Duke, and guess what? Virginia is now one as well. So that's why he doesn't get the fanfare, because he's behind three, Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah. But like you said, he got to pull a Virginia and get on top, But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of his. And when you talk about leadership, great leadership, talking about character, I mean, this dude, man, he made an impact on my life. And he was a basketball coach, man. Wow. When we was at UM together, man. And he gave me a book called The Point Man. And it's just dealing with character. And I was like, wow, man. So I'm a big fan of Leonard Hamilton. He's a great dude, man. He's good people, And just like Double A said, when Jordan ended up hiring him when he went to the Wizards,
Right.
Jordan ended up was wanted him to coach him, and that says a lot, that's just type of dude he is, man. But and look, definitely.
His guy, he continues to send guys to the NBA too, MB. That's the best kept.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Going up in the NBA.
No doubt. He well coached those guys. All right, and then the other bracket in the East, man, you got UCLA, another Pac-12 schools, and then Bama. All right, number 2 seeded Bama, man. Who you got out of that?
Well, I think Alabama's been playing too well as a ball club. I like seeing them move forward. They just seem like they don't tire, man. Like they up and down the basketball floor. They making plays and they're enjoying playing the game together. So I like Alabama and Florida State.
And then out of that, man, twist your arm. Who you got?
I'm an ACC guy. Unlike y'all, MB, I support the conference, baby.
Yeah, okay.
Because see what we do, Blue Devils realize, baby, is that money come back home for everybody.
Yeah.
So I need them to keep moving forward, baby, so they can bring that money back home. So I like FSU. So you see what my Final Four is, MB. FSU.
Right. So your Final Four is FSU. What? Go ahead. You can recap.
FSU, USC, Baylor, MB, and Q's.
Yep. Wow.
All underdogs except for Baylor.
Except for Baylor. You're right about it. You're right about it. Well, you heard it here from the low. All right, K-Lou. What my man called you? Double A called you K-Lou Vital.
Oh, listen, it's so funny, man. Listen, I love college basketball. I love college football. Those two things, man. I always keep my eye. Now, I will be honest. This year was way more difficult. I was not as inspired because of all the stuff that was going on, MB, and just not really into it like that. But usually, MB, I can go and rattle through because I make sure I like watch other conferences and different teams. So when they show up, I'm familiar with them.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just not like I've only seen the big schools. Because that's important to me because some of them schools, little schools, like an Oral Roberts gonna slide in and you have no idea of what's going on with them. And I like to kind of have a better appreciation for what they're bringing to the table. So this year, I actually lost a step, MB, to be honest.
Right. Well, you got it back, baby. You got it back.
Hey, so NBA trades happen. Who really got better? MB, I'm gonna jump out there. Who really got better? It's easy to me. Only one team really got better. And when I say got better, y'all gotta remember, I'm a Laker. Okay, so I'm talking chip. I ain't talking about getting better for a regular season to move up from 8 to 5 to 4. Like that's not what I consider. Like round here, MB. Everybody dogging out the Magic. I'm like, why are y'all talking about them? What were they? They had to be number 2 in the East. Weren't they, MB? The Magic, they had to be number 2 in the East. The way y'all carrying on around here about these people. Don't talk to me about people that don't matter. But I got to bring up the Magic, MB, only because the Denver Nuggets made a move and got Aaron Gordon from the Magic. That's what I'm talking about them. Because they made somebody else better, MB. And I think that's the most significant move that was done because I don't think any of these other moves are going to move the needle. And when I say move the needle, you got to understand me. I'm talking about championship. I ain't talking about winning the first round, okay? I know a lot of y'all going, no, man, you going to come back. I already know what team you going to come back with. I ain't gonna blow it for you. But good luck with that because y'all really deep off in there right now. So I hope that it does something for you. But right now, the only team I think that made a significant championship trade was the Denver Nuggets. Why? Because they bring in Aaron Gordon who can do what? Defend. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, y'all got somebody to match up with LeBron for real. Y'all got somebody to match up. You know, he can guard every position except for the one. So that helps you tremendously. Y'all struggled where on the defensive end with us. Couldn't guard anybody. Now all of a sudden you can guard. You got a guy that's a bona fide, hey, go stick him, MB. You know what I'm saying? When we play basketball, stick him. Stick him. You know, you got one of those on your team, and I think that's significant. Other thing is, MB, you know I like the Denver Nuggets as well. So I like to put that out there. Although I think this move's put them in position to do it what they did again, and that's beat the Clippers. So there was a lot of other moves made. I ain't gonna even discuss them. I'm concerned about the significant move. LB, what's your move?
Oh, you know I'm going down with the home team, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just now is it measured down to put the champs? I mean, to put get them championship. Nah, it just gave them. It's basically committed to the small ball, you know, because they gave. But I like the fact they end up getting a quality player like that, man, getting it done. You know, it puts them more in line, at least having some athleticism against the Brooklyn Nets. You know, but as far as like the Lakers, is going to help the Lakers. Nah, they made another trade, end up getting another big body. I think now what I'm anticipating, and this is what I'm saying. As far as put them even over the top into a possible championship category is the move that has not been made yet, and hopefully the rumors are true. If they can get LaMarcus Aldridge, they can get another big body down in the paint. You know, that'll help them out tremendously, right? But is it going to help them to throw in the Lakers? I mean, the Lakers, man. With AD and LeBron, I don't think anybody. But this is that Aldridge move. that's the one I think that's gonna put them over the top where they need to be.
You know what's so funny, MB? You ain't said LaMarcus Aldridge's name in the last 3 to 5 years.
It's just a body. They just need body.
And all of a sudden he gonna change y'all team. Yeah, he's gonna change y'all. I think y'all sitting around 8th or 9th place somewhere. Yeah, he'll move you to 6th. Okay, Oladipo and LaMarcus Aldridge, y'all are number 16.
With those two bodies, hey,
watch this. That's hoping to get out the first round. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, you're not realizing the East got better, MB. Milwaukee is not playing with people anymore.
Oh, Milwaukee got better when they got Tucker. I mean, and then.
All I'm saying is, MB, y'all can't beat no Milwaukee. Y'all can't beat the Nets, and y'all definitely ain't beating Philly. So to me, all that's for naught, man. like
hey, man.
You mentioning y'all name with the Lakers, man. You need to be worried about the Nets, the 76ers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Do not talk about the Lakers at all. Y'all are done. That was a great run last year. Already you in a situation where you can't even get wins. You at the bottom of the playoff East. You know what I mean? I call that the bottom of the list because I don't even like that stuff people be talking about like 15 team, 14 team. Man, that ain't the bottom. The bottom where the cutoff at, man. Okay, that's the bottom. Like I ain't talking about them teams down there. Okay, so they at the bottom of the East, man. Okay, so how all of a sudden them two moves, a guy that we ain't spoke his name in 5 years, and another guy that like you said, y'all done committed to small ball in a conference or in a division that's got all bigs. Good luck with that. Good luck.
No, I like it. That's the thing. That's why I said I didn't like the fact we gave a bid, but if we get Aldridge, that's at least a body down there and get these dudes. So I'm happy about the move.
Oh man.
And really, when you talk about bigs, you talking about obviously the freak, and you talking about, I mean, shoot, the dude 76ers, he playing his butt off before he got hurt. Yeah. So, yeah. But I like that. Hey, it still don't take away. I like what the move the Heat made, baby. I got to go with the home team. You know it.
Well, I hear you, MB. But again, when you talking from a championship perspective, that's the only moves I think are great moves. I think I would tell you who on the flip side of that, MB, who I felt like blew it, and the executive of the year, GM of the decade, and Masai Ujiri blew it, MB. Not getting Masai Ujiri, which is the general manager for the Toronto Raptors.
Oh! I hear what you said. Okay,
he blew it not for that power trade, but for not being able to move Kyle Lowry. There were teams still talking about 2 first-round picks and young talent for them, and he was too greedy. MB, he did not pull a plug or jump ship or get off of Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry. He'll never get that kind of compensation for him again. That's why I think, he blew it. Because he had an opportunity to take them, to turn the page. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. On the organization, start all over, hit a reset, and it was plenty of teams out there willing to give. Everybody was starting it off with 2 first-round picks. For Kyle Lowry, you know what I'm saying? In this basketball environment, man, that's huge. That's huge. And he didn't pull the trigger on it, MB. So I think that was the worst move, the move that wasn't made. And I think they going to, because he's getting older, MB. He's not moving the same way he was. He definitely wanted to go to Philly. Philly was one of those teams wanted to give him 2 first rounds. I would have been really scared of Philly, though, MB. I'm going to be honest with you. They would have got Kyle Lowry. So I guess I like it on one side that they didn't get him. However, you got to move a guy when you can to better your organization in the future. Because Kyle Lowry still has them being mediocre in the future. where I think those 2 first-round picks changes the game or turns the page, and they're able to move forward from that.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah, I was surprised too they didn't move him, and maybe it's one of those things like, man, I ain't. If I'm a trader, I'm getting him out the East. I didn't realize Philly's trying to give a 2 first-round picks.
Bad. Yeah, they wanted them bad.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe man, I ain't trying to help you win the championship. You know.
Well, and they weren't the only ones though, who wanted them. Even that there was talk early on with him going to LA with the Clippers. Mm-hmm. That was the other team that wanted him bad.
Exactly.
Yeah, so and that wouldn't have bothered me. Speaking of
the Clippers don't have enough draft capital though, To me, they ain't. I mean, they made for them getting Rondo for Lemon Pepper Lou, that helps them to some degree,
Well, and that's what I was told. Okay, I spoke to somebody else about that, LB, and my response was, hey, it would have been if it was in the beginning of the year, but now he has to come on and be the leader. Like, that is never gonna work out. That locker room would tear itself up and be in complete disarray. They letting a guy walk off the street, don't even really know the plays. And let's be honest, Rondo they say he's a savant out there, so he already know all they sets and play calls. So I'm just kind of saying that, but he just got off the bus and he gonna walk in the locker room and say, hey, you quit shooting all them threes. You get your behind in the post. You didn't y'all say both of y'all supposed to be the best two-way players in the game? Both of y'all need to be defended, because that's the elephant in the room with the Clippers. We heard all about this two-way stuff, and both of them playing one way, MB, and not even all the time, because they both get time off all the time. So I think Rondo, this is a move that could help them next year, maybe, but not this year. And Rondo is very confrontational, MB. So
that's what I'm saying.
He ain't the type to come in there and be like, whisper in their ears and stuff. He calling folks out. So if they're a little sensitive, if they like boy Ralph Tresvant, if they being with a little sensitivity, you know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna be that locker room gonna tear up real quick. Hey, I took you back a little bit, huh, LP?
Yeah. I think hopefully you what you said is correct, but hopefully, they got enough humble pie where they like Rondo, they understand what he brings to the table, and they buy into it, They buy into it. So, but you're obviously
tough though, MB.
But it depends. Like I said if I said they got enough humble pie where they realize, man, this dude resume what he brings to the table, and they don't mind coming from a player, the leadership coming from the player getting that done.
And then let's be honest about Rondo. He's a guy that's probably incapable of playing 30+ minutes a game.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I think would have to also coincide with that leadership role, because I thought it was a dumb pickup from the Hawks anyway, but that's why teams like that stay bad, because they do dumb stuff. Bringing them there with Trae Young, MB, who averaging the whole game, all the minutes a game. Like, what?
Right.
Makes no sense. Like, what you bring them there for?
maybe it's just the leadership, just to try to see if he can coach Trae up. I don't know, help Trae. Who knows? I don't even know.
So what I'm saying this though to say, how in the world now can he play 3/4 of a season, 20 minutes a game, and now all of a sudden he about to play 30, 35, 40? You know what I'm saying? A game.
Maybe they're gonna have him limit his minutes as well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if I believe with the leadership that you're anticipating he has, it has to coincide with him being out there that long. And I don't think that's gonna go hand in hand. Is all I'm saying. I agree with you that he's gonna go in there with that mindset, that attitude. But then you actually got to be out there on the field. It's something what you said before, with that team. How can you lead, you're not one of the guys?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? So he has to be one of the guys. And if he's playing backup minutes, you got the guy. But yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. This was a good one. We missed out on Steve Kerr, LB. Is he an elite coach? We're gonna pick that back up because I'm gonna get MB mad. And I can't start it right now because we'll be here to 9:00 if I start with that.
You gotta get me mad.
Oh, I ain't going there. I'm going to your boy. Your boy. Because see, the comment came up when your boy Draymond say he's the best defensive player in the history of basketball, baby.
Say what now?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So look
Draymond say what?
Yeah. Draymond say he that guy in the history of basketball. I say, Draymond, you ain't even the best player this year. Draymond, you ain't even the best player last year. Draymond, what year? Oh, the year he won Defensive Player of the Year. I guess he talking about those 2 years. But Draymond, where you been, man? But see, when you don't won a few championships, the NBA rolls out the red carpet for you. And everybody, old school, we didn't see Robert Orr around here talking trash to people. Even though Robert Orr put people over the hump with them big shots.
Yup, big shot Warrior.
But guess what, MB? Wasn't nobody going into the game plan talking about we got to eliminate Robert Orr. That wasn't what the discussion was. So guess what? He played his role. He played it appropriately. You don't see him still to this day talking trash about people and what he could have, should have, would have did. But you got Draymond, who ain't even the best power forward on his team. Okay, talking like he's somebody, MB. It's going to be a little bit on Draymond, but more on Steve Kerr. Is Steve Kerr an elite coach? Three-time NBA champion coach. Is he an elite coach, MB? And that's what we're going to go to when we get back.
K-Lou, the butcher. Get him, K-Lou.
We appreciate y'all for stopping through, pulling up, hollering at us, because you know us from MB and K-Lou sideline to baseline. We are gone.
Peace.